Yeah, and speaking of like it, Todd, I think you're gonna like this. We're at least in game 2 here because there's no way these players only have 9 lore
I'm gonna
in the
go
mirror.
take a nap. Gonna get
Yeah.
out of here.
Well, Magic Mirror is getting activated, and I think we're at least in game 2 here, which is good. And one of the players has a little bit of a board presence lead, so we're going to have to see exactly everything, and we'll get caught up with our spotter. But it is time for the Ruby Amethyst Mirror. This matchup can get pretty interesting and do a lot of like nuancy stuff in order to figure out who's going to win. But we'll figure it out exactly here in just a second.
Dread it. Run from it. The Ruby Amethyst Mirror comes all the same.
People, when they talk about old Magic, this is what I think they meant when they're like, "Oh, I miss Alpha, Beta, or whatever."
Look, Wall of Wood is a heck of a blocker.
True. Why were walls so strong early on? What were they doing?
I mean, they can't attack, so they might as well have a lot of defense, right?
True. Write that down. Write that down. There are walls too.
Oh yeah, I forgot you work for WotC. I get a consulting fee.
No.
All right. Well, the start of every turn when you play Ruby Amethyst Mirror is draw a card of Magic Mirror. And now Dragonfire going to kill Ursula. We can ignore that Maui for quite some time, especially thanks to the Shield of Virtue on either side. So it's going to be unlikely any player is going to allow their characters to be vulnerable to the Maui from now on.
Yeah, we don't know lore yet. We'll find out in a second. Unless Matthew has a ton of lore, I really like Franklin's position because Franklin has the magic mirror going, and that's just over the course of the game going to lead to more advantages and forces Matthew to play into cards like Be Prepared, which are often just 1-for-1s in the matchup.
All right, when our spotter does confirm the lore totals and game count, we will get that for you.
All right, so it looks to be 5-3. So
Yep.
pretty bad place for Matthew fans.
I mean, look, his hand is stacked. He has 9 cards in hand or something. So, like, he's not doing that bad.
That's true. And it looks like Franklin's going to start with a dragon, Maleficent on Maleficent action.
All right, but we're going to go back immediately to Campo's turn. And look, we got a bunch of resources also. We're going to play the Queen, and we're going to play a Monstrous Dragon of our own and blow up yours. And Quest for 1. So, a little tit for tat. Going to go back Franklin Folks' way.
Yep. And notable, Franklin didn't lore last turn, didn't ink last turn, so we can't go ink, activate mirror, be prepared this turn. So if we want to get any mirror value and not be preparing, then we're going to be giving our opponent some amount of lore, which is relevant in the matchup. There are ways to heal with Aladdin and Ursula, but not a ton.
All right, good call on that. So here's a be prepared. These characters are going to go to the discard pile, and then we're going to follow it up with a Maleficent Sorceress. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, these players, how do either of them actually win the game? Both of their decks are playing sweepers and drawing a bunch of cards, and it's like turn 20, and both players have 14 ink and grips full of 7s. And the answer is they don't usually finish. They draw a lot unintentionally in tournaments, which is one reason why I'm a big advocate for best of one. And I don't want to like keep bringing it up because I know Mason's not a best of one advocate, but this is the reason why for me.
Sure.
All right, here is a brave little Taylor. Let's see if Folks has the answer. We're going to start by singing Friends on the Other Side, draw 2. We do have another Be Prepared, but it seems loose to play that on a 1-for-1 trade basis, and you would even lose your Maleficent in the exchange as well.
Looks like Franklin's taking this time to stock up with some friends on the other side.
All right, finds another Be Prepared, and he's going to go ahead and play it. Doesn't like the 4 lore from that brave little Taylor. It looks pretty scary. And then we're going to ink Gaston.
Well, I think we double ink this turn. Because
no, because last turn we had 10 because we couldn't draw a card and play Be Prepared, and now we have 11.
Oh, I miscounted the pile. Excuse me. I thought we had 12.
Fine. It's easy to miscount in the stage. So much going on. We're going to play Maleficent Sorceress from Campo. Draw a card. Going to play a Magic Mirror of our own. Now we're cooking with Crisco. Going to draw another card. Any inks? Don't want to ink a broom. Don't want to ink anything except Gastons and Maui's, really.
Yeah, and this is a spot where, before I really liked Franklin's position because we had the mirror going. Now Matthew's up on lore, I believe tied on ink, and now has the magic mirror going. So Franklin needs to do something to sort of start taking over this game because the initiative to win is now more on him than Matthew.
All right. Well, we're gonna go back Franklin Folk's way. What you got?
As I said, we could see a broom here to put back Ursula. Once again, Ursula draws a card, threatens a lot of lore, and steals lore from the opponent. So an early broom on that is a pretty reasonable place to be.
Yeah, I do think Ursula is one of the stronger cards in the mirror. Replaces itself, which is great, and just has 8 willpower. That just means Maui doesn't target it, or doesn't knock it down, and it just has to be Dragon's Fire or Sweeper effects or tag teams that kill it.
Yeah, interesting choice there from Franklin. Franklin put back Be Prepared. I would think that if you wanted a removal spell, the Maleficent Dragon in your graveyard is mostly going to do the same thing. But maybe Franklin knows something about Matthew's deck that we don't. These players are in game number 2, and I bet you Franklin saw a lot of Matthew's deck in game number 1.
Well, there's some interesting tech cards from Campo. There's a chance that he doesn't have brooms. If he doesn't have Mickey Broom package, Folks could be playing for a Deku game. Oh, there's a broom. I lied. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say that's one reason you might want to, but never mind.
No, I agree. Yeah, I think it makes a ton of sense if they don't have brooms to just be like, oh, okay, like let's deck. You're gonna have to commit to the board in a way you normally don't.
Yep. Ursula is in the graveyard ×3, but we're gonna go back and get Mickey Brave Little Tailor and shuffle that in. And very few cards left in either player's deck. So we're going to be getting down to the nitty gritty here. Brooms, bringing back brooms. If you are a fan of Magic the Gathering, this is a blue-white control versus blue-white control matchup. Just 2 decks that can play forever, stall you out forever, and just deck themselves sometimes on accident.
Yep. Franklin needs to start questing. We need to start actually impacting. I love this friend from the other side for ink because we need that one lore to start going.
All right. Draw a card with Mirror. It's funny. It's like early in the game, Mirror is great. Helps you hit all your ink, keep you high on resources, makes trades easy. Later in the game, you only got 10 cards left. Maybe you don't Magic Mirror anymore,
Yeah, it definitely it can get awkward with the brooms, especially when you're the person who's behind on lore and not threatening to win. You can trade brooms into stuff, and you can kill a broom to put a broom back and buy a turn, but you need to be working towards winning. And if you're not doing that, then you're in a really awkward position.
Well, both players have access to Shield of Virtue, so they can keep going Quest for 1 Shield if they want, if they have nothing else to do. I think that's a great way to push towards your victory condition without exposing any of your big payoffs. And I think that that's exactly what both players are trying to do. They're trying to just find little spots to gain micro advantages, but when there's so many big bursts of resource advantages, it's very difficult to do that.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, I really wish Franklin, instead of drawing a card last turn, had quested once with, either of the cards. And just, gotta win the game here. Winning is important even in these control mirrors.
Well, I was going to say, I think if both players held their stuff ready for a while, I think that would be better than either player questing, because one Mickey Mouse sorceress allows you to essentially get 1 extra broom activation, which I think is ridiculous. And if both players have broom out, it's only a matter of time before Mickey comes down and allows those brooms to do some serious damage, especially with White Rabbit's Pocket Watch allowing for them to have rush.
Yeah, that's why I liked your line of the shield that I was mentioning.
Sorry.
Yeah.
If I ever contradict you or say the same thing as you, just know I got 4 things going on otherwise that
no,
I might
you're
be
good. I was just like, I like the line you presented, and then you're like, you idiot, my line was bad.
My line was so bad.
I was like, what's going on? But we do see, Franklin here starting to take into account some Lauren.
This is also why I brought up maximum hand size earlier. I think both players right now have roughly 9 or so cards in hand. And you're going to get to a point where it's just advantageous to draw a card and not play anything instead of playing a 9-drop or an 8-drop or whatever. But that's just always the case when you get to the late game, because all of these cards come down and blow something up. And so
Mhm.
you just never want to be the first person that exposes your side of the battlefield to an opposing blow stuff up.
Yep, agreed.
But if you have to discard down to 7, that changes things quite a bit. But it's basically just a mechanism to force action. And without it, you just don't have to. And that's just somewhat problematic in these exact scenarios. But every single Ruby Amethyst mirror comes down to almost this exact same type of game.
Yeah, Matthew, speaking of that, coming down to it, I think just needs to be doing what we did last turn of just get the broom, untap the broom, get your one. You're like pretty far ahead and you should keep that momentum going.
All right, brooming it up, getting the Aladdin down. Yo, Play Mat Showdown, thanks for the sub.
Augers.
Appreciate you. All right, Mason, take over for a second.
All right, I'm taking over.
Brain's melting.
All right, nice. Well, if you're a Franklin Folks fan here, you want to see Ursula come down immediately so that we can start applying pressure in a serious way. Looks like Franklin's maybe just queening, trying to find an Ursula, and did pick up an Elsa here, which is a way to actually tap down these two creatures and then attack them once they are exerted. So that's going to be a pretty tempting play here. I don't think Pocket Watch is off camera, so there's going to be none of that action happening. And I don't know how many Magic Mickeys they are playing here, but we'll have to see exactly how Franklin wants to approach playing this. The other player also having no Pocket Watch means we can use the Quest with the Broom pretty safely and use our mana on other things like Magic Mirror, etc. And Rafiki coming down. So that's going to let us clean up those two things very nicely.
All right, bang the drum. Get them out. But now this is the powder keg, right? So Franklin Folks is first to bite. Campo was just like, here's an Aladdin, here's a broom. I'm gonna quest a little bit. We're up to 10, and now Franklin Folks is behind by 7 lore and has to pull the trigger. And what's gonna end up happening is that it's gonna be a cascade of turns for the next 3 or 4 turns where both players just continually clear their opponent's board, and it's gonna be just hard to stomach. It's just a lot.
Yep.
All right, drop return. Matthew Campo, what you got? Archimedes is ink. Clear would be prepared, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of like this be prepared here and just like play some little friend, to just like keep the little questing, even maybe just draw a card or whatever. But yeah, I like this Rafiki, just whatever, play it.
Get him in there.
Yeah, you're 10 turns away from winning right now with the shield, so might as well just keep the pressure on Franklin and keep making him commit stuff like you were mentioning.
All right, folks, tapping 3. Drawing with Maleficent. Gonna ink Gaston. That one's for the aggro matchups. That one's not for here.
Yeah.
Here it's ink. What
That
does
one's
my
for the Magic
purpose? All right, draws looks like be prepared. Gonna activate both mirrors. Gonna get pretty far ahead on overall resources, but still very behind on lore.
Yeah, and it makes me think about, we just drew that be prepared. What if that had been Ursula, when we broomed a little bit ago? And now we were actually, threatening to actually get a lot of lore going.
All right, Aladdin's going to keep the lore down, though. Back down to 9 is Matthew Campo. Here's Archimedes getting lower to the ground. Normally you save those in the late game to be ink, but here recognizing that he's behind on lore needs to apply a little bit of pressure with these weaklings so that Matthew Campo is forced to start running out those big bads. Once you start running out the big bads, my big bad answers your big bad, and so whoever plays the second big bad wins.
I wonder if maybe an Elsa's going to get played here and just tap down like Aladdin Maleficent, and then, Rafiki just eats Aladdin or whatever, and you call it a day, and, Franklin plays Dragon or whatever, then you Dragon back, and then you're in a pretty good spot.
All right, Rafiki going to go questing. Looks like Campo has very little interest in doing that, but maybe wants to quest first. Maybe just going to play Maleficent, draw a card. Maybe plays Dragonfire, but doubtful. Basically just trying really hard is Campo to not expose any of his characters to being challenged.
Yep.
I think it's very smart.
Yeah, eventually Franklin can set up something like Elsa plus Aladdin, but that's 13 ink at the soonest, and that is a ton to commit. So, it's also possible, Matthew knows a lot of, in theory, the cards that Franklin has in the lore. And this is a sign of weakness here. Just dragon firing down the Rafiki. Franklin knows that he can't keep the game going at its current trend or he's gonna lose.
To me, that signifies that Franklin did not have Elsa. I think Elsa would have been a much stronger play there to just, freeze both of them, do some eating or trading or whatever, and then move on with your life. And instead, though, gonna go ahead and quest for 3. Gonna get a little aggressive, maybe just trying to change the tempo a bit. Make Campo be the first one to bite. But as you can see, though, it's like pretty common. Neither player wants to leave too much exposed, and they definitely just like they have 8, 9 drops in hand, and they're just not playing them, and that's why. Wild to me.
Yeah, Matthew here, kind of an interesting position where you can do something like Elsa in here. Yeah, like you can Rafiki Elsa, and then the board's pretty even, so the Be Prepared is down a card for Franklin and sets up your big bads and just threatens the most lore. Because if you stick an Elsa or you stick an Ursula, you will lore for so much.
All right, gonna go ahead and draw a card. Found an Aladdin. Can go ahead and play that to drain 1. Keep Franklin Folks on the back foot. Gonna play a baby Elsa as ink, and here's Aladdin. -1.
Hmm.
I gotta say, I appreciate everyone in chat being here. This is not, in my opinion, indicative of the traditional Lorcana experience. This Ruby Amethyst deck is extremely good at just not dying,
Yeah.
and that's it.
I think Franklin is like 4 turns away from basically losing at the current rate.
Seems reasonable. I mean, the problem is like he's just doing the small ball thing, but he's so far ahead on the small ball thing that it's just gonna force Franklin Folks' hand. Maui here is a card that Franklin Folks can play and just chew up the Maleficent, but like then you don't get to untap and do anything. But here, this is a big swing turn. This is Aladdin Heroic Outlaw. So exposing your Maleficent, that quest for 1 last turn, perhaps a huge misstep for Campo.
Yeah, and you see Franklin even starts to tap a little bit quicker and doing stuff here. It's like, okay, yeah, let's hide my Aladdin, force you to play your dragon and let's get the ball going. And I think that is probably what's going to happen here. We're probably going to see Matthew do something like quest, draw, dragon down your Aladdin, go, and force Franklin to either have his own Maleficent or be prepared.
Now Franklin's doing the exact same thing that Matthew Campo did last turn, which was exposing exactly 1 creature to an Aladdin Heroic Outlaw. So these players both kind of stepping into here, or at least are under some sense of urgency to try to come back or claw back into the game. When I honestly don't think either player is that close to physically winning. And I think if either player just doesn't quest with their 2/2 on their own turn, this game just looks a lot different.
Yeah, I think I agree. Like if Matthew had just left the Maleficent up and waited a turn, still would have been in a great position. And it feels almost like there's some amount of fatigue going on, right? These players have been playing these decision heavy decks all day. And now they've been playing decision heavy mirror match here for probably about an hour since our top 8 started. And so we have that sort of going for them. And I think it's just like Matthew here is even just missing like, oh, I could have shifted on the Aladdin, ate your Archimedes, and then untapped with the shield and then be basically back to where I was and undo the sort of great play that Franklin set up. But we're back here to just sitting around and waiting and missing opportunity to strike. And when those moments come, you have to get them in these tournaments. That's how you win big events like the Apex series.
Now, I will say this. Someone in chat, DT Mana, brings up the fact that a lot of the Ruby Amethyst players have been moving towards more evasive characters in the mid game, from 5-drop Goofy, Pongo, even 6-drop Tigger that you talked about earlier in the day. And all these look nice for doing exactly that. Here is a Maleficent Monstrous Dragon going to come down and swallow up baby Aladdin. Put him in your mouth. Nom, 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 nom.
Nom. I'm gonna nom 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 once we're done with this top 8.
Oh, I'm so hungry. You have no idea. Did you even eat lunch?
No, I didn't eat lunch.
Oh my god, you must be ruined right now.
I'm running. I got a little extra energy in me. You know, my body can convert some stuff.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Are you a breakfast guy? Did you eat breakfast before we started?
So I did eat breakfast. Yeah, I
Okay,
had.
I'm not a breakfast guy.
Yeah, I just moved into this apartment yesterday, and so I don't have any like groceries yet, which is on the agenda for tonight. So I just like ran out to the old McDonald's and got an iced coffee and a chicken biscuit. Called it a day.
I tried to get breakfast this morning. I was going to go get a bacon egg and cheese biscuit from Hardee's, but
Oof.
the one next to my house. No offense to people who work there, or whatever. It's maybe the worst run fast food restaurant in the whole world.
Congratulations on having the worst one. That's impressive.
Look, when you pull up to the drive-through, here's the situation. You pull up to the drive-through, even if it's empty. Let's say it's empty. You order whatever you want, and then when you get up to the window, you pay, and then by default, this is not like a weird thing, but by default, this is what they do. They make you pull up 10 feet in front of the window so that they can bring you your food to the curb by default.
Huh.
That's how slow they are. That's how horribly run it is.
That is rough.
Snorlax says, I was on the fence before watching this, but this game needs a maximum hand size. Yes! We have a convert!
Yeah, so what happened there? The shield.
He got a little ahead of himself. Sorry.
Yeah.
Good.
No, you're good. I was about to explain the exact same thing there. Just got a little ahead of ourselves with the shield play, and so I think note, and it really is like a sign of fatigue, right? Like these players know what their decks do. They got here. Franklin went undefeated. Matthew only got a draw. Imagine to another Ruby Amethyst player. Maybe not. Who knows? But regardless, these players know their cards. It's just when you make a million decisions, you're going to get fatigued. And if you make a million decisions 4 times, or 4 rounds in a row, you're going to be very out of it. And Matthew's finally going to use one of these be prepareds after forever.
Yeah, but this is the spot where he's been jockeying for the whole game, right? He's nickel and diamond, playing these 2/2s, chipping in some damage, forcing Franklin Folks to eventually overextend, and one be prepared cleared a Monstrous Dragon as well as an Elsa.
Mm-hmm.
All right, back Franklin Folks' way.
Yeah, and this is I really don't want to harp on it, but like I do think these games are often won or lost by micro decisions. When we broomed the be prepared, when we had one in hand instead of the Ursula, now we just don't have any pressure, right? Like this brooming a broom stuff will work in theory, but will not, solve all our problems. We're gonna broom Elsa and try and win. We maybe have one more broom left in our deck, and so no reason to broom a broom until you're kind of down to your last one.
That's fair. And I saw at least one more broom in Franklin Folks' hand, but you're going to see maybe Magic Mirror kind of slow down a little bit here. Magic Mirror has been this card that both players basically just start their turn, spin 4 and draw a card. But once you get down to about 5-ish cards left in deck, you need to start setting up so that you can play broom on broom. You need to make sure that you're getting full value out of Mickey Sorcerers. It's honestly just really, really Snorlax. All right, here is Maleficent Dragon. Get that broom. And another Magic Mirror, just what the doctor ordered. More card draw. Franklin Folks, only about 6 cards left in deck. Draws. Looks like Elsa 8.
I wonder if we have the ink to go Elsa, Aladdin, Pocket Watch, Kill Your Dragon. I go to 11, you go to 9. Or you go to 8, sorry.
All right, I have a proposition for you. Do you want to take a $5 and I'll do commentary, and then you come back and I'll take a $5?
No, I'm pot committed. I'm pot committed. Hit me up in the
Oh my god. Okay, we came into this game when they already had like 7 or 8 ink.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the same game, and I think we've been in this game for at least 20 minutes.
About right. Todd, are you excited for when Franklin wins this game and we get to watch game number 3?
I might not. You know, I might not watch it.
I'm gonna watch it. I can't get enough Lorcana.
I'm gonna make them flip a coin. Look, no rules, just right. I back Steakhouse.
Yum.
I bet they would flip a coin, right? They don't want to do this.
I know. I kind of like playing the mirrors.
Just so you know, this is a joke. Don't flip coins to see who wins games. Yada yada yada. Just joking.
Oh, all right. Big play here. So we got the Mickey of Wisdom, and we have a broom with the pocket wash, so we can attack in. So we're gonna be able to get another card back into our deck. Which one of these is gonna need to be on broom, but now we can get another one that can be on something like Ursula and maybe actually take the lead. Now we know from Matthew's perspective that we have 1,000,000,001 answers, but this is the kind of stuff that you need if you're Franklin in order to actually win the game.
Yeah, and you also need to just time your Mickey Mouses so that you always gain. Like, I'm sure Franklin had that Mickey Mouse and broom in hand for a while and was literally just waiting on White Rabbit's pocket watch so he could give it rush. So he could do exactly this because he knows that the broom comes back to hand thanks to that, and that gives him another broom cast, which lets him shuffle something else back into his deck, like you said. So, very smart play from Franklin Folks. Very well sequenced. These games are insanely long. There's a lot of nuance. Honestly, it's a little annoying.
Franklin shuffling his graveyard because it's so big he thought it was his deck. Little tired.
Just Ruby Amethyst things. All right, we got to come out with a better name than Ruby Amethyst Control. I need look, this game's going to go for a while. I'm just going to let them play cards, whatever. Hit me. Give me one suggested name for Ruby Amethyst Control. That's not the color names or whatever.
Ambien, because it puts people to sleep, and if you combined Amethyst and Ruby, sorry, misspoke. What do you think about it, Ambien?
Well, I think you were thinking of Amethyst and Amber together for Ambien, but maybe not.
Well, Ruby, I'm stretching it. I'm stretching it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's
Pass.
like yeah. Okay. No doubt.
No doubt.
No.
What if we
Mickey? We played a card. We got a card.
All right,
We drew a card.
Brave Little Taylor.
Heaven forbid we ever draw a card before we play a card.
My brother. Would you rather them take another second and think about it, or just play actions at random?
Yes. If I'm gonna be here forever, I might as well be happy when it happens. Oh my goodness, Dragon the Mickey. I heard Mickey likes dragons.
All right, nom nom nom. This is why I don't like Mickey Mouse Brave Little Tailor, specifically because of how poorly it matches up in the mirror matches to Maleficent Monstrous Dragon and such.
Mm-hmm. It is a nice way to have a way to actually win, but that's coward talk. Just have more things and more brooms and go forever. I'd rather have a Mickey. I play like 4 of the Magic Mickey, and just that's the game plan.
All right, we got broom on broom.
Yep, this is gonna happen a lot.
Great, love this. Said no one ever.
Matthew needs to keep dragoning down the dragons and make it so that he can catch a broom with like Elsa's or whatever, or once we're out of brooms. But for now, you just don't want to let the brooms get brooming. Oh my
McKinney, I don't like the ink pile stuff either. It's very difficult to track how much ink someone has. Not to say anything bad about Lorcana specifically or whatever. I actually just really like how Pixelborn implements ink, where it has like a little ink jar, and you just put your card into the ink jar, and then it just counts forever. It's great.
Yeah. White rabbiting. Right.
Elsa, pocket watch, smash your broom. Yay, we're getting somewhere.
Okay.
Build it up. We only have 14 more. We only have 14 total resources or whatever. So 5 cards left in deck. It's about time to start brooming my own brooms.
All right, director. Let me in on a secret. How many of the Ruby Amethyst control players made it? And because I know there were 5, and we know
no, there's only 4. There's only 4.
Oh, okay. Okay, so there's 4. 1 lost. There's 2 here. So are we going to hit the 50-50 where the Ruby Amethyst players have to play the mirror again, or on the opposite sides of the bracket? Let me know.
This would be a fun best of 1 game. I'll tell you that much. As a match, this is not fun. Because that just means that if Franklin Folks is able to take this down, this might take like another hour, you know? This might take another hour and a half.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be really interesting to sort of see what happens if Franklin Folks wins. I might legit order Domino's. You know what I mean? Like I might
Yeah.
be like, we might be gaming here. What do you think was worse? Green White Manifest or this?
Manifest.
Yeah, I think so too. If you had said this was worse, I wasn't gonna believe you, but I
Manifest
was.
is physically unable to finish mirror match games. This
Yeah.
one I think can physically finish. It's just very difficult.
Yeah. I wonder how much this came up in like future testing when they made chapter one of like, oh, the ruby amethyst and mirrors, you know? Like did
Yeah, I don't know how much the I mean you have more of an insight than I do on that type of
Mhm.
thing, so I'll just default to you on that. But like if you found like a cool deck like this Ruby Amethyst, big, slow, clunky, mid-rangey deck, and you found like, oh, it took us one day to find Broom or whatever, right? Like one
Mhm.
day, and we're like, oh, Broom's really important for the mirror match. Like
Mhm.
maybe they didn't see that, but like they made Broom and it's in the color, right? So maybe they did think of that. And if they did think of that, then why do we have best of three instead of best of one?
My thought would be that one way that you could maybe miss it is a late edition that Broom can hit Broom. You know what I mean? Like there might have been Broom a non-Broom card for a while, and then someone said that's too many words, cut it, and then it got missed. You know, those sort of things happen all the time. But I'm just curious to know because they might also think like there are counters in the metagame. And I do think there are decks you can play to beat this. And you know, that might help with the natural churn. Uh-oh. Matthew found his broom. He didn't get past it. That was our best chance of getting this game over. Well, I guess that's not true. I guess you want to cheer for Matthew. Oh no, Todd. Matthew mirrored too much, I think. I think he is decking. I think Franklin is going to win.
Okay, all right. Let's see him. Let's see someone physically win the game before we call it over. Franklin Folks, grip full. Matthew Compo has not many cards left, but one of them is a broom. And as long as those brooms are being able to be put into the graveyard, we'll be able to endlessly cycle them in. However, Folks just doesn't have to kill them. And if that's the case, you know, and if there's nothing on his side that's exerted, the broom might physically not die except to be prepared. And then Matthew Compo can't broom back a broom and be prepared over time.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons I liked holding Elsa because you can Elsa in order to make sure your brooms like attack in with your Mickey, which we're seeing now.
The Legacy says one bad hand and you can lose the round. Best of one lets luck play too much into winning. I say build your deck better. I say mulligan better. You know?
Nah, okay, so these are the only Ruby Amethyst players left in the tournament breaking. No matter what happens, this is the last mirror we will see of this matchup. And all right, we don't have the ability to kill this broom. I was gonna say maybe we can Dragonfire or something, and then get another card. But Franklin is up cards with nothing tapped. Matthew has, I believe, broom and one other card left in the deck.
Well, let's see it. Franklin Folks might just like Campo might be too focused on just having to broom back broom. And maybe Folks just wins the attrition war based on like raw powerful cards left.
This just was a turn. Okay, yeah. Maybe you can just do this. You can just go like Ursula, Ursula, go, and just be like, I'm threatening to win the game. All right. So the broom's gonna go back to hand, and the broom can broom Mickey. Or does it not work that way because they all die at once?
I don't know, man.
Oh no, yeah, they would all die at once, then Mickey's not in play to see the broom die, so you don't get it. Yeah. That makes sense. Oh no! Ursula draws a card! I forgot about that.
All right,
Oh,
but we got the broom to get back broom, and then we can broom next turn to get back something. So We're on life support here, but we're still in it.
Franklin, cut the deck. Matthew might
Oh,
attack.
it's Broom. Let me read Mickey. Someone said Broom has a die in a challenge, so maybe that's what's going on here.
Okay, that is definitely it.
All right, Mickey says whenever one of your Broom characters is banished in a challenge, so in a challenge specifically. Cool.
All right, cool. I never had it come up before, so
We're getting delirious, chat. Don't blame us. Blame Ruby Amethyst.
one of my favorite cards here, Mickey, the Wayward Sork. Mickey actually just playing a lot of Diablo, just cosplaying up. Magic mirroring. So there's some card Franklin needs. Because Franklin knows his whole deck.
Matthew knows his whole deck too.
Yeah. Don't be prepared, because then you could broom the broom if you be prepared. Oh
yeah.
No. All right, Aladdin, actually huge. All right, we're getting to the end game now, chat. Broom a broom. Then we can play the dragon or Aladdin, either. I kind of like playing Aladdin. I think Franklin has 17 ink.
That's all?
That's all.
What do you think about alternate win condition of hitting 20 ink?
That's cool. You have to rebalance all the Sapphire cards going forward.
I don't
That's
think you
totally fine.
do. Sapphire needs some help, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's a short-term solution to a long-term problem, though.
Yeah, well, pretty big problem.
All right. What do we do now?
Broom my broom, my broom, my broom. Into broom my broom, and then we broom my broom.
I agree we're brooming. But I think you can Mickey first. You just need to have one broom in deck. And there's
All right, so you go. Do you have another Elsa in hand? If you, oh man, I don't know.
Hang on, we can math. Just play your cards, Franklin. You have 15 ink of cards in hand, and you have 17 ink. It's fine. We believe. All right. So we've killed the broom again. Now we're gonna get Mickey. We have another broom in hand. And the broom's gonna hit the broom. I actually don't like this because in theory, you could save the second broom and then just put Mickey back. If you draw Mickey, you can broom to Elsa, draw Elsa, play Elsa, haste the broom, play the broom. So you'd actually be up another card. So Franklin, a little bit of a misstep there. I don't know why he didn't think about those 40 moves ahead after playing all day with this heavy decision thing here. Clearly, no problems going on there.
All right, well, let's see who's able to take it down. Both players are in the broom soft lock. They're trying to figure out the best way to win while making sure they have brooms going back into the deck. It's relatively difficult because the brooms only get shuffled back to hand from Mickey if they die in a challenge. But them dying at all means how did they both die?
Okay. Yeah, there's just confusion.
But them dying at all creates a chain of brooms. So it's just a very tense, weird game here at the end of it all.
Yeah.
And we'll see which person is able to navigate it best.
A little bit of a dance going on here as we did draw broom. So we have Wayward, Mickey, and I believe one of the big cards left in our deck is the last two. You should use your shield to untap the broom. Untap the broom.
Untap the broom. I wonder if he can hear us. Franklin!
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that's 4 mana. No, don't draw a card. Franklin, no. Wrong one. Oh, no.
That's Mickey.
Oh, I thought we had
So if we have Ursula to tap Ursula and Broom, And then we go Mickey, Pocket Watch, give it Rush. Something like that.
Okay. Is that's wait, that's not the last broom, is it? Oh, wait, does he have the mana? Or the ink? Oh my gosh, we didn't pre-plan all this. Are we short? Oh no. Oh no. We've dropped the bag. We didn't plan through our whole turn.
Well, fatigue will do that to you. Okay.
It will. And I think Franklin was in a favored position. Yeah, he's putting back the dragon. I think you gotta put back Elsa in theory, but maybe not. You
Well,
definitely.
I mostly just hope Franklin shot himself in the foot so that Matthew Campo steals this game.
I want to see tight Lorcana play no matter what. That's my stance on things. I signed up knowing this could happen, and honestly, we got lucky only having happen once so far, is my opinion. So,
Well, Mason, we're not on the Lorcana Pro Tour, sir. This is a local event.
dude,
I'm just trolling. All right.
all right,
You're right. Of course, Mason. I'm sorry.
it's all right.
I
We have
just
differing
like playing
opinions.
around. I just like playing around.
You're good.
But
Also, I think Matthew doesn't play any wayward Mickeys. I haven't seen them in any of the rounds we watched of him.
maybe he had to ink them really early.
Yeah, maybe.
Every match.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm just bad for playing like 3 of the Mickey. I just think Mickey's stat line's good.
All right, broom and broom. I think he still has 1 broom left in hand as well, but not 100%. I see Ursula, which can get rid of the Mickey. Dragonfire. Okay.
All right, Dragonfire kills the Mickey. All right, and then you kill the broom because there's no more brooms left. We're pretty sure, unless there's a broom in hand that was just hiding. I'm pretty sure all the brooms are. Because it feels like Franklin had to broom a broom early, or sorry, ink a broom early.
All right, Mickey gets blasted. No more broom tricks. We're out of brooms, probably. Here's an Aladdin. Gonna pocket watch it. Pop watch and lock it. Gonna squish that broom. We're gonna gain 2 lore. We can quest with the Elsa. We can quest with at least one of the brooms.
Can we untap the Aladdin? So I guess it doesn't actually matter. Yeah, you just want to quest. Yeah, that's right. Matthew might just win.
Might just win the game straight up. We'll see. Franklin Folks. Be prepared? Do you have more brooms to save you?
All right, Matthew at 15.
We're down to 2-2s on 2-2s. That's what it's come down to. But Matthew Campo still has some juice in hand. Be prepared in a way to put a card back into your deck.
We shuffled Dragonfire, so it's Dragonfire and 2 unknown cards I can't see. Franklin. You have to have Broom. You could go Broom, Mickey, draw with the mirror, play the Mickey, attack the Broom in. It goes to hand, play the Broom, the Broom, and then rush another Broom into Elsa. And then that will get you back in a pretty good position. Because Matthew not having Wayward Mickey means that you never get to double broom your brooms. Franklin's going to sweep them on up here. Get it?
Yeah, I get it.
I'm going to call Franklin the Swifter Duster Upper.
The question is, do you get it?
Oh, I get it. Oh, Franklin sees it. So the last card in hand was the broom. I thought we only had 3 for some reason.
All right, gonna get back Mickey. Gonna play Mickey. And now we get brooms galore. We're gonna shuffle a bunch of stuff back in the deck. This is why it's so dangerous to start questing in the mirror match because of this exact thing.
And as long as he doesn't attack an opposing broom. Okay, we attack the broom. Maybe that's fine. I actually don't know how many brooms are left in Matthew's deck. Is the last card a broom or was it a random card?
You're asking the wrong person. Because I definitely do not know.
All right. So we pocket watched, we played the broom. think you want to hold the
Wow.
Dragonfire. Maybe I'm wrong.
What a sick sequence here. I mean, questing for 3 is a big deal. You're at 15.
Oh yeah,
Now
I forgot that actually. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
It's not frozen. All right, we're going to broom back something. We're going to put some good cards back in now. There's a Mickey to make sure that the Mickey chain stays. Another broom. Going to
You
put the
broom
broom
else.
back.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
And still has broom in hand. Perfect.
All right,
Great sequencing for folks. Let's go.
Game 3. Game 3. Game 3.
All right, draw for turn does Campo. We're going to start with broom. What are we getting back? Get back a broom.
And this is where the deck building decision to not have any Mickeys, or maybe earlier in the game to income maybe the one of Mickey we have from Campo, is coming back to haunt him, where he doesn't get to do the things that Franklin's getting to do. Now, we do have all of this ability to play lore, and I think Campo can maybe just go something like play Elsa, play Mickey, quest to go to 18 and present lethal.
I like it.
But it is, definitely a problem. Oh, did he just pass?
Yeah, I don't like this. I mean, I feel like so the problem is no matter what he does, Franklin can go broom back, be prepared, and play be prepared. And so he's just trying to, I guess, play around that specifically, but
wait, doesn't Franklin has more cards in deck than Matthew does? So Matthew and Franklin has another broom in hand. They both have a broom. Okay, so there's a draw for some reason. This is also why I wanted Elsa. Elsa down the brooms, keep going forever. But I think Matthew maybe, if you just, no, there's Elsie. And we still have a broom in hand. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what would happen if Matthew had just put a bunch of power in play, or just like quest with the 2 brooms, and then play 1 Aladdin, pass. Then Franklin can be prepared back, draw it, play it, and then but you're still in the same place, and you're up, and your broom always gets to quest, and you have plenty of time because you're at 18. So I think Matthew had it going on here. Worth noting, these players are playing for a spot at the 16-person invitational, playing against people like Nathan Story or myself, Frank Karsten. That's going to be pretty exciting. So even if players want to split prizes, they need to battle out for that invite. So there's a lot on the line here, as that is a $2,000 event. And these brooms, yeah, them getting tapped down here, we get to pick back up the broom. And Franklin gets to put back another Elsa.
all right, so it seems like both these players can kind of go ad nauseum here, thanks to Elsa exerting things and the brooms trading for brooms. Both players are forced to play brooms. Both players can put Elsa back on top of their deck with one of the multiple brooms. And so, I'm not really sure how either person really gets out of this. This is just a very weird game, but this is often the end game. And this is very similar to getting close to stalemate in chess, but there are like deterministic ways to win the game in chess when based on what pieces you have left in play and where the pieces are at on the table. And it feels here like we're like very close to a deterministic finish, but I am not versed enough in this game to really tell you what that's going to be necessarily.
Yeah. So we exposed the Mickey to the Aladdin. We know Matthew has it. Matthew goes up to 18. What I talked about last turn, Matthew would have won the game if he had quested last turn, but now he's still threatening to win the game with the Elsa in hand, and Franklin's misstep might cost him here. We can broom the Mickey, but getting the drain on the 2 lore is the biggest thing.
All right, it's a very close game. Campo at 18 lore, so will win the game with 2 more lore found. Can quest once with broom here to go up to 19. That'll allow Franklin some tricks with broom, maybe not worth. We're going to play Dragonfire on the Elsa.
That broom is still drying off.
I see. It's wet.
Yep. It's wet.
It's a wet little guy. This is why you're supposed to tap your stuff to play your stuff, Matthew, instead of just saying, I have this many, I've used this much.
Yeah, I understood it when we had a million things and all we were doing was playing 1 card a turn, but come on. Come on. Broom to broom. This event brought to you by Swiffer Picker Upper. Make sure to get your brooms.
It is not. It is not brought to you by Swiffer.
It should be though. I'm reaching out to the Swiffer people right now on Twitter. I'm gonna add them, let them know.
All right, Campo. 1 card left in hand. 2 brooms in the deck, I think. The last card in hand, though, is a nice one.
Todd, do you want me to tell you how long the quarterfinals has been going, or do you want me to just not mention it?
What time is it? 6:08. It's been going for an hour and 8 minutes, I think.
Only an hour and 8, but it feels like an hour and 12 for sure.
Oh, is that close?
Yeah, I think it's actually an hour 40. I didn't want to break your heart too much.
Hour 4 or hour 8?
D.
Hour 40?
Yeah, I think
there's no way this is hour 40. I'm in. Oh no.
Oh no, we got a Mickey in hand. It never stops. We're gonna kill the Aladdin.
You got to kill the Aladdin. You got to kill everything. 18 lore for Campo. Questing with the brooms is scary.
Yeah, this is. Well, also, Franklin has to be really careful because, in theory, he knows Matthew's last card is Aladdin. So if he ever exposes anything, it's going to get pocket watched again. I can't help but think about that one turn where we sort of dropped the ball and we could have twisted twice as Matthew. Oh, interesting that we didn't just broom an extra time there. But
not that interesting.
Yeah, just feels like we're losing a little value.
That's true. That's true. All right. Well, we're going to probably use broom number 3 of 4 to shuffle in something here, but no. Franklin Falk's going to pass it back, going to save the broom. We have Elsa and Mickey as 2 cards in the deck. They need to be shuffled technically, but it's possible that Falk's just going to activate the mirror no matter what, so it doesn't really matter. Broom on broom.
Yeah, so I think what Franklin's basically saying is, hey, right now, next turn, no matter what you do, I'm going to draw the card. I have enough mana. I'm going to play Mickey, play Elsa, tap your broom that you're forced to play, and then attack in. So I think Matthew needed something like some way to get the broom off the board so that Franklin couldn't attack in a while ago, or just quested that one turn and we won. This be prepared. If we draw, or 50-50 to draw the be prepared off the top, but just actually no one shuffled. Yeah, there we go.
No, I won't cut. Well, it hasn't been randomized yet.
Yeah.
All right, gonna spin 4. We're gonna draw a card.
After the match is done, someone please tell Matthew that he has to untap his ink every turn.
Yeah, I don't have the heart to do it. You know?
I do. I do. It's for the new players. So if we be prepared here, there's still a broom in Franklin's hand.
May someone throw up.
Yeah. We can't quest chat because we just played this broom. All right. Matthew has 1 card in deck. Franklin has 2. So we haven't fully solved the problem yet, but we are close.
Both players are almost out of cards in hand, which has been, to me, like the defining... Like, you can tell there's progress. Like, it looks like it's going back and forth forever. But, like, Franklin Folks is almost out of all spells, and Matthew Campo doesn't have the ability to Mickey his brooms. And so I think that just doesn't have enough raw, strong cards left in the cycle to be able to do anything. The Mickey is really what breaks it with the brooms, because you're able to put back a broom and one of your payoff cards, and that's just not the case in this scenario.
Yeah. All right, Franklin. We need a card that removes a card in the graveyard from game.
Yeah, we need Rest in Peace. Rest in Peace would make this a lot easier.
All right.
All right. Well, here's a broom.
Okay.
Get back a broom. I don't think Campo can win anymore. His last threat is this Elsa.
Yeah.
If actually, I take it back. There's a chance that Folks messes up horrifically and dies. And here's how: if any of his characters ever get exposed, Matthew can go broom back Aladdin 7, draw Aladdin 7 off of Magic Mirror, and then give it rush and attack, and that'll put him up to 20. That is basically the only way I can see him winning because his brooms are locked getting other brooms. His last card is currently an Elsa. Next turn he can maybe, I don't know if he has enough to go broom back Aladdin, draw it, Elsa, Aladdin, haste. I think that that's too much.
Yeah, I think so too. And it also requires Franklin making a mistake. And this is why, earlier in the game, Matthew really dropped the ball. Now we're going to have the broom attack the broom, replay the broom.
Yeah, but if you ever quest with anything and leave it exerted, the chance of dying is just so high.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't exert until. So you're just gonna exert with Mickey, then untap. Although you should have probably done it with Elsa, unless Elsa was played this turn. I can't quite remember, but yeah. Now you set up Luki.
So Matthew can go. He has Elsa in hand. He could have played Elsa last turn to preemptively exert two things, and you can only shield a virtue one of them, and then on the following turn could go broom Aladdin, draw it, go for it.
Yeah, I like where your head's at. Also, because Franklin keeps playing the Elsas, if you don't kill them, Franklin will run out of Elsas, so he won't be able to tap you down. So you're actually Matthew might be able to do exactly what you're talking about and win this game because he needs 4, 5, 6, 12, 14 ink. I believe Matthew has 17 ink. So that is a legal play, but you need to maybe wait one more turn of the Elsa thing happening in order to do it. And Franklin is going to quest with Elsa, untap Elsa. So it'll be 11, 14. So yeah, there's enough time. If Franklin missteps and doesn't leave an Elsa in the deck, then that will be a losing line. All right. What do we want?
I think Matthew's going to win this game. I think his patience. I think Franklin's going to mess up.
Yeah. Can Franklin actually go tap your broom Aladdin? Nah, you can't. That doesn't actually work. You have to keep tapping because of the brooms on the broom on broom action. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, what I said before was okay. We're doing it.
All right, here's Elsa. It's going to tap the broom. Broom can go out the broom, come back to hand, get replayed, put some stuff back. Franklin going to play a broom first. It's going to grab Aladdin. We can draw a card here with the magic mirror, and that'll put Campo down to 17, which means the Aladdin attacking from graveyard is not enough to win the game. And I think that Franklin Folks has found a way out. Now, Matthew Combo can also just get back a Be Prepared and do kind of the same thing. But then Franklin Folks just rebuilds with his brooms again. So it's just a very sticky board. And it's just so hard for either player to actually win. And there's so many spots where both players just lose on the spot if they make a micro mistake.
Agreed. Oh, and look at this. You can't quest this turn. You only have 2 ink left. So in some ways, Franklin having more material gives Franklin more chances to mess up.
Yeah, but now that Campo's at 17, it's not as big of a deal, right? Like you just quest and you don't really care if the Aladdin does anything again.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Broom gonna get something. You can also quest with Elsa because Elsa doesn't get challenged by the Aladdin very well.
That's true. Do you think?
All right, we're getting a bunch of lore. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up to 15. Franklin gonna force Matthew Campo to bring back Be Prepared and cast it, but when he does that, he's gonna have to break his broom chain, and I think that's gonna be game over.
Oh, that's a Mickey, not another broom under the broom. I was going to say we're out of brooms. But we're not out of brooms, I don't think. That's a Mickey underneath the broom and above the Elsa, right? Because the last card index Aladdin, and if that is a Mickey, it's fine because then Franklin's last card is broom. But if not, Franklin might have lost the game, Dodd.
Well, this is going to leave Campo. If he gets back the Be Prepared and plays it, what ends up happening is he breaks his broom chain, right? He doesn't have the Mickey, so he's not able to get more than one card back at a time. And he's been in a holding pattern of broom, get back broom for a while, trying to find a spot where he can broom back Aladdin and then give it Pocket Watch and then attack and win. But now that Folks has put him down to 17 with the Aladdin, it's not enough. And so now I think the game just ends.
Yeah, it feels like Matthew at some point.
He should have Elsa'd way earlier to do like a 2-turn sequence with the Aladdin kill instead of giving his opponent an option.
Yeah, also should have quested with the 2 brooms so that they were all lethal from hand. A lot of small decision mistakes here. Okay,
well, is that it? Is that game? We went Aladdin, get it back, Pocket Watch, Shield of Virtue, make it attack twice, and Franklin Folks is defeated. He quested one time and died.
What is going? Oh my gosh, Franklin! Oh my goodness, that's so crazy, Todd. How that one is? That is one of those things where fatigue is going to happen. People make mistakes, but if you're going to keep playing Lorcana at the highest level right now, these Ruby Amethyst control mirrors, you cannot make those sort of misplays. And going back and studying that game is one that I suggest for everyone who is playing this deck to understand what the end game looks like. Both players had the game won at certain points and just dropped the ball. I'm going to be honest with you, Todd. Give me a cut to break so we can get set up for top 4 and have these players move over and tell the other guy he's got to tap his ink in the top 4 because, we're going to town.
All right, top 4 incoming. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with the top 4. We're looking for a champion to qualify for the Invitational in October. We'll be right back.